Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and to the panel. I am very excited to be here to talk about platelets, specifically cold storage platelets, and why they must be implemented in our inventories. My name is Victoria de la Cruz. I am an MLT in affiliation with Winston-Salem State University. I am here in hopes of gaining your support and grant for in vivo trials for cold storage platelets. I have worked in the blood bank for 5 years now, so I'm pretty passionate about blood products and saving lives. I have seen the importance of needing to get the blood products out the door quickly and for them to be readily available. I have seen the same passion in head trauma surgeons who have come into the blood bank with bloody hands and bloody shoes, demanding for blood products because they want to save the patient's life. I have also seen the same passion in L&D nurses who, after a 3-hour massive transfusion protocol, came down to the blood bank in tears, thanking us because we saved the patient's life. It is reasons like this why I want our inventories to be at their most optimum and to be widely available. As we all know, platelets are stored at room temperature, at constant agitation, but they only last for 3 to 5 days. This poses many problems, such as the risk of bacterial contamination. Room temperature platelets also have their setbacks, such as low aggregation and retraction abilities, which is important for their clotting mechanism, and that's what helps them do their job. They're also very costly. For platelets to only last 3 to 5 days, this incurs an amount of about $89 million per year of wasted products. We just simply cannot have that. The cost of equipment also, the cost of equipment is also $3,000 per year. The cost of equipment is also $3,000 per Helmer agitator. Last but not least, room temperature platelets cannot serve their purpose in pre-hospital settings, such as in emergency medical services, because you simply cannot agitate platelets in an ambulance. And the risk of their contamination and for them to go out of temperature is really high. Let's not forget about rural areas and the availability of platelets to them. I live in rural Colville, California, where the nearest hospital is about 30 minutes away. Now, I remember working in the blood bank at Naval Medical Center, Camp Lejeune, where if we had to order a platelet and have it delivered to us, we knew that there was a risk of a long wait time and possible contamination or possible for the temperature to go outside of its limits. The risk is already high there. I imagine the risk for rural areas to be much higher. Having cold stored platelets would mitigate these risks, cut costs, and have more availability for everybody. Luckily, the FDA has approved for 14-day storage of cold storage platelets when room temperature platelets are not available. This is very encouraging, and we want to utilize this opportunity to gain momentum in vivo trials. It is already established by other researchers that cold storage platelets can overcome the risks and shortcomings of room temperature platelets. They have better aggregation and hemostatic control, and they minimize the risk of bacterial contamination. Being that they are already stored in reefers along with our other blood products such as RBCs and plasma, This mitigates all risks and cuts our costs. We will also not need an agitator, which will cut more costs. What we propose is to start in vivo trials at Naval Medical Center Camp Lejeune for 1 year. We will transfuse patients in rotation of 3 products. The first patient will come in who will be actively bleeding, and that will call for platelets. The first platelet type will be room temperature platelets with plasma and platelet additive solution. All these products will be stored for 21 days. This time limit is important to see the aggregation abilities, feasibility, and safety of these products throughout the 21 days. The next in rotation, another patient will come in who is actively bleeding, and we will transfuse cold storage platelets mixed with plasma and platelet additive solution stored for 21 days. The third patient will come in, and the product that we will transfuse will be our control. This will be room temperature platelets mixed with plasma, but no platelet additive solution. It is believed that platelet additive solution is what enhances the aggregation abilities and storage life of platelets. So these room temperature platelets without this additive solution is a great control to see if the other room temperature platelets and the cold storage platelets will be enhanced in their abilities. We will keep accepting patients who meet our pre-health screenings, and they must be actively bleeding in order to be eligible for this trial, all up until 1 year. We will rotate these 3 products in hopes of collecting data proving that cold storage platelets have a place in dual inventories and pre-hospital settings. I predict that most of the transfusions will come from cardiothoracic surgeries and traumas with patients hemorrhaging. I also predict that cold storage platelets will have just as good of a platelet count as room temperature platelets, but faster bleeding time control and stronger aggregation abilities up until the 21-day mark. Cold storage platelets have overcome the shortcomings of room temperature platelets in vitro. Let us do this trial in vivo to prove that cold storage platelets have a place in dual inventories and pre-hospital settings. Thank you.